Kia koto, welcome to Hockey Night in New Zealand. I'm Bartek Evertovsky here with Joel Rindelob, and we are bringing you tonight's NZIHL action with the Botany Swarm taking on the West Auckland Admirals here at Paradise Avondale, the home rink of the Admirals. So, I think we've got a really important game here today, Joel. So, do you want to tell us what's at stake here this weekend?
Everything is at stake, Bartek. This is one heck of a weekend. Final weekend of the year for the Swarm's season. And if they do well, they could secure themselves a top 2 position, including they do have a chance of the #1 seed. However, that's probably a little bit out of reach at this point with the Stampede doing so well and just having one weekend remaining against the Thunder. But the winner this weekend basically hosts the home semifinal. And so these teams are pretty evenly matched. They've gone at it pretty hard this year, so you're going to be in for one heck of a weekend.
Yeah, and I think the home for the semifinals is going to be important because Avondale is an NHL-sized rink, a North American size, whereas Paradise Botany is an international-sized rink. So the Botany Swarm really like playing at Botany, taking advantage of their speed, flying through that big ice. So they definitely want to secure that home ice advantage.
Absolutely, and we got some suspensions we got to talk about after a bit of a ruckus last weekend down in Queenstown, giving David Ruzicka 5 games for elbowing and leaving the penalty box area.
Ooh, that's
and
rough.
That is one of their best players, import from Czechia. And
former teammate of Yager. He's a very experienced player. You don't want to be missing him.
they are definitely going to be missing him on the biggest weekend of the year so far. And this means that if the Swarm make it to the finals, that's the only way he will be back this year in a Swarm uniform.
Yeah, that's really tough. He's a really big guy, too. And Remy Sandoy, the next player, suspended as well. 2 of their best defensemen are out this weekend.
But as we mentioned, 2 evenly matched teams, especially head-to-head. And when these 2 teams did face earlier this year, the Admirals did come on top. But who knows if that's going to continue.
Yeah, that was quite surprising. The Admirals went to the Swarm rink, to Paradise Botany, and took both games that weekend in Botany. It was very close. So I think we'll get 2 tight games this weekend again here in Avondale.
And to do so, the Swarm got to stay out of the box. As we saw last weekend, got to stay out of the box, while the Admirals, they really need to use that puck possession to really help their breakouts. They can get a little trapped in there, which, basically taking care of the puck.
Yeah, that's right. And I think actually, ironically, Ruzicka and Sandoy being out, they're 2 very frequent visitors to the penalty box, so that might help them slightly with staying out of the box. But of course, big loss on the blue line, those 2 defensemen.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the Swarm, and they're going to bring in a lot of, they do have a deep roster, and they do have a lot of young players that are willing to step up, so they're going to need it this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, the Swarm are absolutely stacked offensively. I think Mike Hopkinson is on the 4th line for the Swarm, and he's a really talented player.
Richie Hopkinson.
Or sorry, not the goalie. Mike Hopkinson, the goalie. Sorry, Mike, if you're watching. Richie Hopkinson on the 4th line, I believe. So having a player of that caliber on the 4th line shows how much depth they have.
Yeah, Richie, great hands, can make things happen. But between the pipes, that's where the story is really going to be. Connor Parr has been doing a fantastic job for the Swarm this year.
Yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal. And he's a very young goaltender as well. I remember watching him a couple years ago. He had just moved he's originally from inline, moved to ice, and looked like a sort of average B division goalie on ice. But once he got his feet under him, learned how to skate, he's been incredible. He's just absolutely risen through the ranks and now is arguably the top goaltender on the Swarm at the moment.
Well, as we both know, the best skater on the team has to be the goalie.
That's right. I like to pretend I'm the best skater. I can't do crossovers with those big pads, but
a lot of sharp, quick movements. You got to be on your toes. And, of course, players to watch. The Dangler, Justin Dagg.
Yeah, he's an incredible player. Played NCAA Division I for Alaska, and you can definitely tell. He's so calm with the puck. He has great vision, great patience, rarely makes mistakes. In my opinion, the best defenseman in the NZIHL.
And, well, The NZIHL voting would agree with you 4 times.
I should have read the sheet.
2016, 17, 21, and 22. And he's going to try to stop Michael Hotshot Houlihan from the Botany Swarm, the import from Denver, Colorado, who has put the biscuit in the twine quite frequently this year.
He was very impressive. I believe against the Devils, he had 2 goals in one of the games, was just short of a hat trick. Jackson Fontaine and Ivan Dalmatow did pick up hat tricks, but he was one of the best players in that game. Always a threat. They'll need to contain him.
So there we have it. We are just moments away from this clash between the Auckland rivals themselves here in Avondale at the Paradise Entertainment Center, also known as the Brig.
Seeing the roster for the Swarm at the moment, we saw the goalies for the Swarm. They have quite a lot of goaltending depth, with both Connor and Barr playing very well recently. Last weekend against the Stampede, Barr put up an amazing performance in the second game to get the win in Queenstown. He's on the bench tonight, I believe, as the backup, and I would not be surprised if they end up splitting these 2 games, if Connor plays today and Barr plays tomorrow, because they're both very talented goaltenders. Barr, former goaltender for the Admirals, moved over to the Swarm this season.
And of course, on the other side of things, the West Auckland Admirals have a very experienced lineup themselves, especially with Chaba in goal.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting goalie battle. Connor, very talented young goalie, but he's not experienced. This is his first season really taking that starter role. Played backup to the current coach of the Swarm, Matt Canaday, now on the bench, as well as Grace Harrison, who has been out with injury. So this is his first season really taking the reins, and he's done very well so far. But I think this is the biggest game of his career, so we'll see how he does respond. Whereas Chaba is a veteran, he's been in lots of these sort of games, has a little bit of an experience advantage. So this will be very interesting to see how this game goes.
And the backup goalie today for the Admirals is actually Lachlan Hyde from the Ice Ferns.
Yeah, it's great to see. Lachlan has been backing up, I think, the past 3 or 4 weekends. Actually did get some game time against Dunedin when Chaba went down injured with a concussion. Would be cool to see her get some game time, but we'll see. She's a very talented goaltender as well for the Steel, for the Auckland women's team, and for the actually our national team, the Ice Ferns, as well. We'll be traveling to Australia with the Ice Ferns to take on the Australian women's team, I think in a few months, if you'd like to tune in for that.
The ice hockey does not stop here in Aotearoa, and we are getting ready here to drop the puck between the 2 fierce rivals here in the Auckland Derby, with so much on the line with just the playoffs weeks away.
Interesting to see actually Pim Vandermeulen on center. So this line, the 2 Dutchmen, Pim and Guy Kunst, have been playing with Regan most of the season. Regan has usually centered the 2 of them, but now Pim has taken that centering role. And I'm curious to see why.
We are underway here at the Brig. Polozov try to force it in the offensive zone, but instead it goes to Atwell. And now here's Houlihan, the hot shot himself, getting worked over by Dag. That's that matchup we were looking for. Now there's a shot towards the net, but that one's blocked. And Houlihan will dump it back in. So Dag start from behind his own net.
Calm as always. No panic with Ivan closing down on him.
And up to Regan. Playing a more aggressive forward role for number 4 in blue this year.
He's transitioned so well from being a defenseman to a forward. He had a slightly slow start to the season, but has been excellent since.
There's Dalmatow, puts one towards the net, but that's steered aside by Chaba. Now to the near wall. That's McDonald. But
another big defenseman for the Swarm.
Now Wimmer on the far wall. He'll be getting a little more ice time with the suspensions. And Wimmer throws his body around into Scott Henry, but the brick himself did not move.
Yeah, Scott is a stout guy, tough to knock him over. Low center of gravity.
Now here's Tuller with the puck. Plays it over towards the bench. Able to find Hay, looking for Hopkinson streaking through the neutral zone. And it's sticked aside by Vortinov. Now Vortinov with some speed, trying to go coast to coast. And instead he'll play it for Hopkinson to chase. Kennedy's the first one there. Plays it up the wall towards Sestroni. Sestroni can't handle it, so Tuller keeps it in at the line. Plays it down towards Janssen. McLeish doing some work. He's able to bat it out of the zone. But a little too far, and so that will be an icing and a face-off back in the Admiral zone.
Swarm have come out hot here so far. Haven't had any grade A chances, but have brought some pressure, had some zone time against the Admirals, and did get one shot on goal that was easily handled by Chuba. See what they can do with this face-off. So we have Colin March coming in for the draw.
So he'll have actually Ollie Hay on his right wing, so another defender playing forward. There's Hay with a shot right on, but Chaba saw that all the way.
Yeah, well done. March tied up the other centerman, gave time for Hay to get in there and scoop up that puck and shoot into Chuba, who trapped it in the gut. They'll get another chance at this draw.
Now Taylor Kennedy plays it along the wall towards Rooney. He just chips it out. And now Luke Simon goes off the stick of Hay, but no icing here. Now played up the wall towards Simon. He's able to keep it in, throws it towards the net, misses everything. Now back at neutral ice. Swarm to chase, and they've had a lot of puck possession here in the offensive zone to start.
Yeah, really impressive. They come here to Avondale to this much smaller rink than they train on and have brought that pressure against the Admirals.
Now Simon gets it to Polozov as he streaks towards the net. Centering feed again, a shot, and a goal! There it is, the Swarm are on the board with Michael Atwell's wrister.
What a goal by Atwell. What a pass by Polozov to set him up. And he absolutely snipes it past Chuba, I think low, just over the pad, blocker side. That's actually a really tough spot to save it. I believe you're a goaltender as well, a former goaltender, Joel. As you probably realize, real tough to actually reach down there and get those low shots, especially when you're as tall as you are.
Well, it was a good shot. It was a good goal, and the Swarmer have the lead. I will say, do not miss trying to make those saves.
Yeah, people often think you need to shoot top corner on a goalie. Often 5-hole or low blocker is actually a better option.
Yeah, just above the pad, but underneath the blocker.
Very popular spot to shoot in the NHL, especially on penalty shots or shootouts.
So that's Wimmer for the Swarm will throw it in as his line mates go off for a change. So a free breakout here for the Admirals, but they actually could not control it, and it goes back to center ice. Tuller forced to retreat behind his own goal. He'll leave it for Dalmatau. Admirals also went off for a full change, but Swarm unable to capitalize on it. And it's played back to neutral ice to Andy Hay. So here's Dag. He'll find Kunst. Over to Vandermeulen as the Dutch bring it out the zone, but his pass is broken up. And then a turnover here, looking for Kunst. Right in front, but he fanned on it.
Oh, it just came off the heel of his stick. What a golden chance for Guy Kunst. Oh, and Jackson drags it offside.
Jackson Fontaine, a little too fancy with the stick, actually brought it out of the zone, so we will get that whistle and a face-off.
One of our other commentators, Marku, coined the name Action Jackson. Very catchy. I quite like it. He's such an energizing player. Definitely an Action Jackson out there.
Yeah, he's definitely got some wheels out there. Trying to make things happen. And so far it has been all Swarm. The Admirals are yet to register a shot on goal.
Big hit there up in the wall.
And McLeish forced to retreat for the Admirals. Plays it over towards Regan. Runs into Hopkinson, turnover here. Vortinov with a little bit of space. Instead, he'll center it towards Janssen. What a save by Chaba. How did he get a glove on that?
Yeah, really clutch save by Chuba. Definitely don't want to go down 2 goals in this situation.
No icing here, as it's a race for the puck. Kennedy the first one there. Tries to get it over to Vesper, but instead it goes right to McLeish. Now he goes cross ice, but nobody home, and it's Wimmer to get the puck. Now McDonald, he's going long towards Ollie Hay. Could not corral the bouncing puck. Now Hay with 2 Admirals working on him in the corner. Koptev to help out. Throws Kennedy to the ice. But Vesper's able to collect and play it up the wall towards Sistroni. McDonald pinches on him. An aggressive pinch there from the defenseman. And the Admirals are able to clear the zone.
Really nice to see the aggression out here from the Swarm. They're not sitting back at all in this away game.
So that's McDonald. He'll play it up towards Houlihan, up the wall towards Polozov. He puts on the brakes, looking for some clear ice.
He's just a magician with the puck, Polozov.
Now Atwell, the goal scorer for the Swarm, plays up towards Houlihan, but Steven knocks that out of the air. And the Swarm are forced to start from their own end. And this one deflects over the glass into the netting, so we get a whistle and a face-off to come.
Yeah, a chance for the Admirals to load up their top line and try and get something going. We can see they've got 2 shots on goal against the Swarm. I don't. Oh, we're seeing the replay actually now of the shot against Chubba, the one-timer, possibly off the shoulder of Chubba. Either way, it was a good stop on that one-timer opportunity.
And a great pass from Vortinov to find Janssen there in the slot. So hey, fans on it. Puck stayed near him, and instead it's played back over towards Tuller and the Swarm. Long pass here up towards Polozov. Trying to find Houlihan, but that's knocked away by Allen. And now here comes Dag the other way. Great poke check by Tuller, otherwise he had some space. Now up the wall, Houlihan trying to get it towards Atwell. Now he's fighting for position with Quigley, and Quigley throws it all the way down. No icing here as Simon retreats from behind his own goal. Now Simon with some space, takes it himself. Going coast to coast as the defenseman. Centering feed up towards Dalmatow. He throws one in. Blocker save. Rebound is there to goal.
Marcus McDonald, the youngster.
In the right place at the right time to open up the lead.
Love to see it. He's such a small player, but he plays with such ferocity. He's like a Badger or a Wolverine. He has absolutely no fear. Going in the front of the net, going in those dirty areas, banging those rebounds.
And it was initially a nice save by Chaba, but the rebound was to a well-positioned McDonald right there. He didn't get much on it, but he got it across the line.
Just enough. That's all you need. And let's not forget that beautiful run that Luke Simon went on to set that up. Very talented young defenseman. I think he's only 20 years old still, but he plays like a veteran with his experience.
Now here's Fontaine. Action Jackson continuing to put some work in.
Oh, look at that action from him.
There's a shot that's blocked. And now here come the Admirals. Regan takes a big hit, but still has control of the puck momentarily before it's cleared out.
So we're approaching the midway point of this first period, and the Admirals haven't really been able to get anything going. The 2 shots, I think, are almost generous. I don't really remember Connor needing to work very hard. So they'll definitely need to change something up to get back in this one.
The scoreboard says 2 shots have been registered by the West Auckland Admirals so far, but to be honest, I don't remember either of them.
Yeah, I think they're just padding Connor's save percentage stats here, but Connor won't complain.
Maybe I should pay more attention. I'm trying to announce this game.
Yeah, it's quite tough actually paying attention to the entire ice when you're trying to commentate on it. It's not an easy job. Thanks for doing the play-by-play so I could sit here and just chill out.
Yeah, this is on you. Why where were those 2 shots? Come on, Bartek.
Yeah, I could say color commentary, much easier job than play-by-play. You can have some beers in between the plays, no big deal. Now we're getting a face-off in the Swarm end. Chance for the Admirals to get something going. Max Vesper on the draw. Does win that face-off.
Sestroni trying to find Henry, but it's broken up by McDonald.
Puck didn't get through the Connor Parr, so still 2 shots on goal officially for the Admirals. But they'll get another chance here as we get an icing, and the Swarm cannot change their lines. So hopefully those guys out there aren't too tired.
So Swarm, not yet even 10 minutes into this contest, have that early 2-goal lead, and they have been the force to be reckoned with so far.
Yeah, absolutely clinical away game from them. This is what Matt Kennedy, their coach, wants to see.
So that one's played all the way down. And no icing here as Dag is able to retreat, and the Swarm gets some fresh legs out there. Now played straight back into the Swarm end. And now the Admirals trying to show some life here. But instead it's a quick breakout race for the puck here. Here's Kyle March all alone. He shoots, he scores! Top shelf.
Oh, beautiful goal. Nothing fancy, just shelves it on Shaba. Beautiful goal by Kyle March. Look at that speed there to win that race. Chuba a bit too deep in his net. As you see, he was deep in the blue paint before Kyle March even got close to him. So the Y theory of goaltending, how you usually play a breakaway, you'd come out a bit further and try and match speed skating backwards with the forward to really take away their shooting opportunity. He gave him a little bit too much space to get that shot off.
A shot right on, rebound, now an opportunity on the goal line, and it's in! The Swarm have answered with a goal to the Admirals. It's Rooney who pokes it in on the line, and it's back to a 2-goal game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a mistake by Connor Parr. With that long shot, he didn't squeeze the elbows enough. It looked like it just trickled under the elbow, left a little bit of a gap there for the puck to get through, and unfortunately, he paid for it. But it's been a really tough period, actually, for Connor. He hasn't faced barely any shots. I think the shot count is very generous for the Admirals, so he's been sitting there cold feet. His first real chance that he's faced, and that's a tough one for Connor. Hopefully he can bounce back.
So things have opened up here at the Brig with back-to-back goals, end-to-end action, and another opportunity there as Polozov just deflects it wide.
That was a really dangerous deflection. If that was anywhere on target, that would have hit the back of the net.
So now played to the near side, a race for the puck. Simon able to beat Whiston Lee to the puck, and the defenseman again showing those aggressive pinches on the end boards. Now Houlihan with the centering feed towards Polozov, but he's cut off by Hayward Jones, and the Admirals are out.
So it was Josh Whiston Lee who got that goal. Former Swarm player, switched to the Admirals this year since it was closer to home. Gets on the board to make it 3-1.
So here's McDonald. Cross ice towards Marcus McDonald. He tried to leave it for Houlihan, but Houlihan went to the bench instead for a change.
The two McDonalds completely unrelated on the Swarm. Ironically, they're sponsored by Burger King.
So here comes Mason Kennedy out of the zone, but the Swarm intercept, and now it's Dalmatau.
Oh, that was interference from the referee against Action Jackson. Put the referee in the box. That's who Dalmatau was looking for with that pass.
Dalmatau again recovers, tries to get around Chamberlain, but he'll intercept and get that line change. So some fresh legs out there for the Admirals. Tueller thought about going deep towards McDonald, instead plays it safe to Action Jackson. And now Fontaine building up some speed. Runs into Regan though, loses the puck, and now here come the Admirals the other way. So Dalmatal still trying to do some work. Regan puts another shoulder into him for good measure. Now Vandermeun over towards Kunst. The two Dutchmen trying to get something going here. Haven't seen a lot of them thus far in the offensive zone. Now Regan back down low towards Vandermeun. He'll cycle it down low towards Regan again. Again doing work with Dalmato. Good battle between those two on this shift.
Ivan's lost his stick, is complaining about holding to the referee.
There's a shot just wide. Tueler's able to clear, but not for long as Regan intercepts and plays it up towards Kennedy at the point. Kennedy puts one through, but hits the back cheek of Kunst, and the Swarm are able to clear.
Yeah, that was a dangerous opportunity, actually, with Connor's eyes being taken away by Guy, and the puck skips off the boards and out of play.
So that should draw a face-off just outside of the zone, with the Swarm still up 3-1 after those crazy back-to-back goals in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, it's the tone of the game has definitely changed since the Admirals got that one back, as we saw some good zone pressure from them on that last shift, and they'll be trying to continue that now.
So it'll be Simon on the near wall. Plays it up towards Janssen. Now Swarm will dump it in. Now Sestroni with a nice play there to get it to Vesper. Now Vesper with some speed up the ice, runs into Simon.
Simon throwing a classic old school hip check.
Needed it too, as Vesper had some speed and a clear path to the net otherwise. Now Hopkinson, he'll play it up towards Janssen. Janssen, he's rubbed out by Hayward Jones, but continues. Is able to evade Sestroni, throws one wildly towards the net, misses everything, and that's going to come out of the zone. So here's Wimmer with the puck. Back to McDonald. Now going up towards Janssen. Looking for Koptev. And now the other way. Whiston Lee throws one just over the bar. He's trying to go top shelf, and now he's taken down by McDonald in the corner.
Good to see Josh Whitstanley shooting. I think he's a good stick handler and often tries to do a little bit too much. So it was nice to see him just walk in and rip a shot, even though he didn't get on target.
Here's a turnover. Steven puts one on. Parr doesn't know where it is, but it's right in front of him, and he'll hold on for the whistle.
Yeah, Parr, I think, slightly struggling so far. He just hasn't had many shots. It looks like he's not completely into the game, isn't quite dialed in. So he's got 4 minutes and 50 seconds to survive this period, and hopefully have a rest and reset and get himself mentally into the game for the second period.
Has not seen a lot of rubber.
No, and occasionally he's getting tested. It's quite difficult. No shots for 10 minutes, suddenly good chance. So understandable.
So it'll be Polozov for the Swarm. Loses it dangerously right in front. Puck still loose. Admirals unable to get a shot on goal as Whiston Lee was diving towards the net, and here comes Houlihan the other way.
Oh my, that was really uncharacteristic for
Houlihan, shot right on, and a save by Chama. And we have some action-packed end-to-end work here as Houlihan was tripped up. No call there. And now Quigley will put it into the zone. And the rest of his line mates go for a change. And it'll be Houlihan. Up towards Atwell, the opening goal scorer. Throws it into the skates of McDonald. Now looking the other way. Simon cuts off Chamberlain. Has little room to work here. And here comes Simon again, trying to make something happen in the offensive zone. Plays it down low towards Fontaine. Zach Steven on his back, able to get it to Dalmatow. Dalmatow centering feed looking for McDonald, but that's broken up nicely by Quigley, but unable to get it out of the zone. Good pressure here by the Swarm. Getting a partial change, so an opportunity here for the Admirals to break out. And they're able to get it to Guy Kunst. Now Kunst trying to go 1-on-3. But the Swarm are able to seal him off. Now pass towards Fontaine. Great look there from Simon. Now the other, I tried to find Dalmatel streaking towards the net, but the Admirals step up to break the play down.
We've got a penalty coming here. Looks like a not cross-check.
Interference,
I believe. I should really learn my referee hand signals.
So Guy Kunst is going to go down for an interference behind the play, and he is not happy about it.
Ah, the Dutchman sitting in the box, breaking up that Dutch duo. Luckily it wasn't Daigle. Daigle's a really key penalty killer for them. Good for them to have him out on the ice. Out there with Scott Henry, fiance of Lachlan Hyde, who's on the bench. So maybe he'll be Scott Hyde, or maybe we'll have Lachlan Henry next year. I don't know. Or they'll do a double barrel maybe, Hyde Henry, Henry Hyde. Either way,
it's a
Swarm on the power play.
So this is the first power play opportunity for the Swarm. And it looks like, according to our scoreboard, it's going to be a double minor.
Yeah, our production manager, Josh, is saying he thinks it's a mistake, but we'll see.
Turnover here by Sestroni, but Polozov's able to catch him. Sestroni doing a good job to evade two Swarm attackers and kill some time here in the offensive zone before he's upended by Houlihan, and here comes Swarm.
Yeah, Sestroni has an absolutely lethal shot, and the defenseman knew that, made sure they didn't give him any space to let it go.
Houlihan's taken down, and the puck is kept in by McDonald. Finds Atwell. Atwell all alone. He shoots, but it's off the face of Chaba, who was in good position. Now Polozov with a shot that's blocked by Sestroni. And there's a shot right on. March had a lot of time, but unable to do anything with it.
It's interesting. I've seen Chaba going down early quite a lot. I don't know if he's tired or maybe, but usually he'd be staying on his feet on those chances instead of going down early.
So here's Vortinov for the second unit. And Ollie Hay doing some work with Kennedy on his back. Now over to Vortinov. Plays it towards Simon. Now over to Fontaine. Fontaine just overskates the puck. He was looking at his options and forgot he had the biscuit.
So solid penalty killing by the Admirals so far. Haven't really let the Swarm get too many. Well, they had that one high quality chance off Chaba's head, but other than that, Admirals very good on the penalty kill.
So still plenty of time here on the power play for the Swarm. That penalty to Kunst as Vortinov here trying to make something happen towards the front of the net. Centering feed gets through everyone, and it's back to neutral ice.
Looks like it must be 4 minutes. We still see Guy in the box. Curious if it was for arguing with the referee.
So what I believe happened is he said something he shouldn't have to the referee after that interference penalty and got a misconduct.
Silly Guy. Should have said it in Dutch. Wouldn't have got the penalty then.
Now over to McDonald. Throws one towards the net, looking for a deflection, but could not find the stick of Hay. Now Vortinov, able to keep it in nicely, seals his body. Now a shot actually hits Ollie Hay. And the Admirals are able to clear, but just to center ice. Now here's Polozov. He'll leave it for March. March with a nice move into their own zone, puts one through, but a blocker saved by Chaba, and that goes into the netting.
Solid save by Chaba. March is a very good shooter, former teammate of mine on the Rangers, absolutely lethal. And he's one of the lower line players for the Swarm, just showing how much depth they have with someone like Kyle March on their third or fourth line.
So we still have over a minute of power play here for the Swarm, with a few opportunities, but Chaba has stood up to the challenge thus far on the penalty kill. Once again, the Admirals clear. And that will do it for the end of this period. So, with 20 minutes in the books, it is 3-1 Botany Swarm. And for a while there, it looked like it could have been worse, but the Admirals got themselves straight back into this game and looked much better in the second half of that period.
Yeah, since the Admirals scored immediately after Kyle March's breakaway goal, the tone of the game completely changed getting that goal back. It's anyone's game at this point. And previously, we thought the Swarm were going to run away with this one. Yeah, and the goaltending battle, very interesting. Connor not very busy, has struggled at times to keep track of the puck. Just staying in the game is really tough when you're facing so few shots. The scoreboard is definitely overestimating, in my opinion. Chaba has been a little bit shaky at times as well, so this is really a goal scorer's game. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 6 or 7 aside.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there are no more goals scored.
You never know.
You never know.
Goaltending is the strangest position in sports.
But after an action-packed opening period, it is the Swarm that are up 3-1. Stay tuned for second period action coming your way soon.
Kia koto, welcome back to Hockey Night in New Zealand. We're bringing you second period action of the West Auckland Admirals hosting the Botany Swarm. Massive clash this weekend. Both teams fighting for their home ice advantage in the semifinals. 3-1 right now for the Swarm, but the Admirals applied some pressure towards the end of this period, or the last period, I should say. And I'm Bartek Avertovsky, joined here by Joel Rindelob. So Joel, what do you think both teams need to do in this period? I think they both need to make some adjustments.
Well, the Admirals, of course, they've got to play with that fire that we saw in the second half of that first period. They were struggling to complete passes in the defensive zone, and they couldn't break out of the zone. They couldn't attack. And that was really kind of where the problems were originating from. So they need more crisp passing, better puck control. The Swarm, on the other hand, did a good job of staying out of the box. That was, of course, a major issue for them last weekend. But there were, again, a few turnovers themselves that led to some pretty high chance opportunities on the other side for the Admirals. So, again, I think the theme here is really just going to be take care of that puck.
Yeah, I think the Swarm also struggled a little bit on their power play. Their power play has been hot and cold at times this year, as Katy Perry would say. So they'll definitely need to improve on that if they get any more chances. This will be a tight game, so they want to take every chance they can get. And a message from our sponsor. So post-game, you can join the team at What a Barbecue for some delicious American barbecue-style food. Highly recommend their brisket. And we're underway.
Yes, that's right. Just up the road from our rink here is some barbecue, but we've got a power play right here and a shot right on by Houlihan, but Chaba's all over that with just 50 seconds remaining on this power play.
Yeah, just wrapping up that 4-minute penalty to Kikun, still staying in the box. 2 minutes for interference and 2 minutes for saying something naughty to the referee.
What do you think he said?
Oh, I don't know. Must have been in English, though, not in Dutch, since he got that extra 2.
Do you think he told him you're not invited to barbecue after the game?
Oh,
what
probably.
a barbecue?
That must be why. I would be offended if he said that to me. Need my delicious brisket.
So that is cleared the length of the ice. Vesper's going to be the first man there, so Parr is forced to play it, but it goes right to Regan, who read that beautifully.
Yeah, Parr probably should have backhanded up the boards to his player chasing, but no harm done there.
Well, shouldn't his defenseman be directing him where to go with it?
That's true. Blame the defenseman. Yeah, actually, why are we blaming the goalies? It's a tough position. You're always under scrutiny as a goaltender because you're the last person involved when the puck ends up in the net. Nobody remembers who turned over the puck for the breakaway. They remember who let the puck in.
So here's Dalmatal, puts one through, but that's gloved by Chaba, and he holds on.
Yeah, it was going high over the net, but might as well make that catch, settle things down, get a face-off. Let the team reset. Seeing that replay now, Dalmatal hammering that one towards Chaba.
And as you mentioned, did not get much on that power play. That was really the only shot towards the goal there to open this period. So we are back to 5-on-5 action. And the Admirals looking to hope to get some momentum here. So here's Henry into the zone, puts one towards the net, shot save. Parr had a little bit of trouble with it, but he eventually holds on.
Yeah, good thing Parr pounced on that one, was able to get some sight lines, but still struggling a little bit to track those pucks into his body. But if he gets more shots on him, keeps making those saves, he'll get into this game and start feeling comfortable. It's always tough when you're not getting many shots.
Hopkinson wins the draw for the Swarm. And it's played up the ice, and this will be an icing as it hit Janssen before the center red line. So we'll get a face-off back in the Swarm zone.
Yeah, opportunity for the Admirals to put some pressure on with Pim Vandermeulen centering Scott Henry and Vinny Cicerone. Interesting to see they've broken up the Dutch line, I guess because it got messed up with Guy sitting in the box.
So here's Vortinov for the Swarm. He'll throw it into the corner. Janssen to chase. Kennedy beats him there. And now a turnover. Here's Janssen, cuts towards the net, but could not pull the trigger.
Oh, beautiful move by Janssen. Looks like his stick got tangled up with Chaba, and so that's why he wasn't able to tuck it into the net.
Now here's McDonald. wearing the assistant captain A tonight for the Swarm. And he'll skate it up himself. Plenty of room to work here.
He has a great shot. Would love to see him use it here.
And he puts a shot right on. Forced to make a save was Chaba with a little pesky blocker, but that was some good coast-to-coast action there from McDonald.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Usually just walks in and fires it. This time he showed he has some dangles.
Here's Vortonov trying to make a play towards the net. Unable to find the stick of March. Now back to the near wall. Sestroni bounces off Vortonov. Now tries to cut it up the ice. Vandermeulen. His errant pass is picked up by Hay, and he'll throw it into the zone. Now Rooney trying to find Steven, but that's broken up by Hay. And now Andrew Hay, the captain for the Swarm, will play it down further deep. So both Hay brothers on the ice. And then another turnover here, so the Swarm have possession in the offensive zone again. March played on the near wall, looking for Hay. Hay plays it back down low, and once again back to March. March looking for a centering feed, just to the near wall to Hay. Throws one towards the net, hits the shin pads of Mason Kennedy and into the netting.
It's interesting to see the Swarm are really rotating their lines very evenly. Kyle March centering the fourth line for the Swarm has had a goal so far, got some power play time, has had lots of ice time, so it shows the coach, Matt Kende, really trusts all four lines out here in this massive game.
So here's Luke Simon, throws one in, but a skate save made by Chaba. Now Hayward Jones going to try to break out through the near or far wall. Quigley just got a piece of it. Now played to Paulzoff, who bats it out of the air. Centering feed towards Houlihan. What a save by Chaba as he kicked that one just barely.
Yeah, massive toe save. A 4-1 lead would have really made this difficult for his team. Or 4-1 deficit, I should say, rather.
Big collision in the corner as Simon put a shoulder into Allen. Now Allen collides again with Atwell, and both players hit the ice.
Atwell felt very awkward and got tangled up with his own stick as well. Finally getting up now.
The referee's certainly letting them play here today. Is a big hit as Simon returns the favor, sending Allen straight to the ground.
Oh, what a hit. Simon is not a big guy, but he's so aggressive for his size.
So a very physical contest so far in this smaller ice sheet. Not a lot of room to work out there.
Yeah, you definitely get a really physical game on this North American-sized rink compared to the sort of international size you see in Europe, and as well as Paradise Botany and Dunedin.
I would like to note, I'm not sure any of the rinks in New Zealand are any sort of regulation size other than Dunedin, which does have an Olympic-size rink. And here's Dalmatal the other way, puts one through, and a blocker save made by Chaba. Now Dalmatal again in front, but he just misses wide.
Oh, I think he probably actually had more time to bring it to the backhand and tuck it in. Chaba did not realize where it was.
And this one goes over the glass into the netting by the Swarm, so we will get that whistle and a face-off.
Seeing the replay now, I think this might be the big hit by Simon coming up. Oh, wow. Sends him flying. Allen puts his butt on the ice.
He got full liftoff. Allen's, both his feet had left the surface.
Wow. What a hit by Simon.
Now here's Henry for the Admirals. But he loses control of the puck, but then gained right back. Now here comes Sestroni onside, throws one towards the net, but that's blocked by Hay. And now Tuller has it for the Swarm. Looks for Vortonov. Tries to find Janssen just behind him, but he's able to leave it for Hopkinson. Now Vortonov, the first man there. Ridden off the puck by Mason Kennedy. Now the Swarm again at center ice. Forced to retreat was Vortonov. Or was it Janssen, but he just tapped it right to Henry. And he throws it back into the Swarm end. Now played up the wall, intercepted by Rooney. He'll throw it in, and the Admirals get a change. Stroni looking for some help. Stevens there. His centering feed goes through everyone over towards Rooney on the far wall. Now Sestroni, nice pass there. Unable to find his man though, and the Swarm will clear. Race for the puck here, but it is too far, and so there will be an icing and some tired legs out there for the Swarm.
Yeah, this is going to be tough, this draw. I think it was Dima Koptev, I believe, who intercepted that centering pass. I don't think he realized he actually had enough time to walk it out or give a nice lofted chipped puck out of the zone and fired it down for the icing. The experienced Richie Hopkinson here on the draw against Ben Steven, I believe, son of Coach Cam Steven on the Admirals.
Now played into the zone. Long pass there towards Hopkinson. Hay throws one towards the net. No one home. And so it'll be Steven who breaks it out. His pass just in front of Vandermeer. And again, Admirals struggling to complete those passes in the neutral zone.
Yeah, then again, the Swarm haven't been quite as dominant in this period as they have been last time. It's looking a little bit more even, but you're definitely right. Neither team really getting that much going.
So here's March. Gets it over towards Simon. Simon throws it in. Hay was trying to find a centering feed there towards Koptev. And now here's a shot. It was Hufnagel that was collapsing, trying to get a shot on, but that's poked away by the Admirals.
Yeah, he was wide open there. If that puck got to him, that would have been an incredible scoring chance.
So here's Polzov trying to do some work for the corner, looking for Atwell, but that's broken up, and it's played out of the zone. Wimmer with some good footwork there to keep the puck alive for the Swarm. Now Atwell throws one towards the net. Stick save made by Chaba, and he throws it back into the corner. Now Atwell again doing some work. Taylor Kennedy on his back. Now Hayward Jones and Houlihan back to Atwell. Atwell shoots, he scores! Goes glove side, and it's 4-1 Swarm.
I think that was posted in as perfect as you can get. Low glove side just over the pad. Pings off the iron and into the net. We're seeing that on the replay now. Atwell loses his marker, gets into space. Now Chaba, as you can see, slightly squares up with the body of Atwell as opposed to the stick. I think he was a bit surprised that Atwell was completely open there. And that gave Atwell a little bit more space to tuck it in off that post and in.
Some great give and go puck work from Houlihan and Atwell on that goal, giving Atwell his second of the night and crucially opens up that 3-goal gap.
Yeah, Chaba has made some big saves in this period, but his team definitely needs to help him out and make sure you're not giving up those really high quality chances in the slot there as they just did.
So here's the Swarm trying to break out. It's Dag with possession of the puck. It'll be Tuller to chase.
Oh, nice dangles.
Able to find Action Jackson. Now 2-on-1 the other way. Jackson shows one shot, but Chaba's there with the blocker. Now Hayward Jones gets it up towards Regan. But Hufnagel steps up to play that one in. Here's Dalmatau behind the net. Centering feed there and a shot, but just missed.
That was blocked. Chaba was looking the other way. Luckily, his defenseman blocked that one. Admirals really need to tighten up those chances.
Now here's Vandermeulen. He'll throw it down low. But it's Hufnagel. Plays it up towards Janssen. Puck still free there. Regan trying to do something with it, but Simon's in there for safety. Now Simon and Regan doing some work. Now played up the wall. McLeish keeps it in, throws one towards the net, but Simon does a nice job to get a piece of that, and then a couple hacks at it, and Parr is forced to make a save.
Oh, great saves by Connor Parr. That'll give him a big confidence boost. He hasn't been busy in this period so far. That'll definitely help.
Now, nice play by Janssen. Throws one in and a blocker. Save by Chaba as he had no one in front of him.
That is a really clutch save. If that goal went in, I think it's almost game over at this point.
Well, we are only halfway through the game so far. Plenty to play left as Hopkinson throws one in. Blocker aside by Chaba. Now Sestroni able to knock that out of the air towards Vesper. Gets through March and over to Henry. Henry doesn't have much help as his line mates go for a change. And the puck is played to McDonald. McDonald, 2 Admirals aggressively on him, is able to dish it off towards Hay. But only as far as the blue line. Now Wimmer goes up the wall. He's had a nice solid game standing in for Remy Sandoy, who has been suspended for this evening.
Yeah, very impressive to see the other Swarm defensemen step up with 2 of their big names out of the lineup.
So here's Vortinoff. Rooney's on his tail. Able to knock it to Winston Lee, who throws it back in the zone. Rooney plays it up top towards Kennedy. Now going low towards Winston Lee. Runs into Wimmer, who's separated from the puck. But Winston Lee still at it. And now it's March. March trying to get it out of the zone, but having some trouble as Winston Lee was on his back. A very nice aggressive shift for the Admiral.
Yeah, the Admirals definitely need to take away the Swarm's time and space here on this smaller ice.
And so we have a puck towards Chaba. He decides to hold on and get that face off.
Yeah, might as well make the safe decision there. Don't want to give up a chance. We've seen a few people from across the world watching. I saw someone from Seattle. I think we might have seen someone from Detroit. So thank you for joining us from wherever you're watching from.
And also, thank you to Pure New Zealand, Pure NZ, for their 2024 sponsorship and support of the West Auckland Admirals. So Swarm back on the attack. And it's Tuller. Steps up at the red line. Able to play it back towards Polozov. Tries to find Hay, but a bouncing puck makes that a little difficult. Now played up, and it's Houlihan. Houlihan trying to go cross ice towards Polozov. That's in front of him. So Dagg's the first man back. Dagg with some speed now. Gets past Houlihan, but can't get around Dalmatow. Now Chamberlain intercepts. Poked away nicely by Hoofnagel. And then a shot from Hayward Jones caroms wide. Hayward Jones does a nice job to keep it in at the blue line. And now Regan doing some work with Hoofnagel. Now Dagg had to make some quick move as Fontaine was in his face. And the Admirals will start again from their own end. Just 6.5 minutes remaining here in the second period. And the Admirals trying to make something happen here, currently down 3.
That was a big hit back there that number 34, I believe that's Hoofnagel, right, took to make that play, sacrificing the body to make sure it gets out.
Hoofnagel looks a little bit gassed on this shift. Could go for a change, so perhaps an opportunity here for the Admirals if they can hold the zone. And we are going to have the first penalty of the game on the Swarm as Ivan Dalmatow is going to be called for a hook.
Yeah, we saw Pim Vandermeulen take a tumble there. I'm not sure if he slipped or if there was enough contact from Ivan. We'll see that now on the replay. Yeah, we do see a hook there. So well-deserved penalty. Ivan's going to the box to think about what he's done. The Admirals are on the power play.
So a great opportunity here for the Admirals to try to cut into that deficit.
They'll need a reset, though, from their own end. And for Parr, I think this is a good opportunity to get his head into the game. He's going to have some zone time from the Admirals against him. And good time to get his hands warmed up, get his feet going. Caleb Chamberlain absolutely flying out there on the zone entry.
So this will be the first print plus power play here for the Admirals. And they could really use a spark.
Speaking of spark, we've got Hart Electrical sponsoring the Admirals this year, former Admiral player. So contact Hart Electrical if you need any sparky business done.
They could sure contact Andy Hart right now. They could use a little bit of his spark on the ice that he always used to bring.
For sure. Very nice guy, too. I'd trust with my electrical business. Chuba poking that one away to safety. As the Admirals try and reset, try and get some zone time. Regan carrying the puck in.
So Admirals on the power play. It's Dag. Centering feed there towards Hayward Jones. Could not get the release, but it's back up to Dag. Now he throws one in a great block there from Atwell.
Such a key block. We saw Connor trying to look around the screen. He couldn't see anything, so it was really important Atwell got his shin pads on that one.
So here's Dag into the zone. Throw it around towards Regan. And then Hoofnagel was hit by Hayward Jones, so he can't do much with it. And now, once again on the attack, that's Kuntz throwing one through, but instead Thuler gets it and he clears. So just like that, Dalmatau out of the box, and we are back to 5-on-5 action.
Yeah, both teams' power plays mostly ineffective so far. So neither team has been able to take advantage of those opportunities.
So here's Rooney for the Admirals. Plays one into the near corner. McDonald trying to get around Vandermewen. Now played to the far wall. And that's Fontaine. Action Jackson. Leaves it for Dalmatau. Dalmatau between the legs, and he's upended, and we're going to get a penalty here on the Admirals. That's going to be Mason Kennedy for a trip.
Yeah, quite a clear trip there. Dalmatau, who just set some time in the box, now has earned his team a power play. And speaking of sponsors again, so the Admirals would like to thank All Plumbed In for their 2024 sponsorship and support. Go to allplumbedin.co.nz for all your plumbing needs. Now Kyle March, nice to see him getting some power play time. He's climbed from the fourth line. Looks like the coach really trusts him on this power play. Good to see him out there. And he won the draw for his team.
So here's Simon looking for Fontaine, but that's broken up. Now Taylor coming the other way. Throws one towards the net, but missed everything with Sistroni breaking towards goal.
Yeah, uncharacteristically impatient pass from Simon there. He's usually much more patient in those opportunities on the blue line.
So Vortinov will throw it around, trying to get the puck towards Fontaine. Now Simon has it. Down low, nice idea there from Hay, trying to get it to Vortinov backdoor, unable to connect. Now Simon again, throws it towards it, and that one's deflected by Hay, but just misses going over the shoulder of Chaba.
Yeah, it turned into a floater, that deflection, but if you got more solid contact, that would have been a really good chance.
Fontaine leaves it for Vortinov. Now Atwell. Up top towards Vortinov. Plays it down low, and it's Dalmatau. Overskates it, so Stevens there. And a nice plays there by Steven, able to eat up some penalty kill seconds before the Swarm gain control, and it's Polozov. He loses his stick in the Zamboni door, and that's a free clear for the Admirals.
Oh my, what the heck? The Zamboni door here is an absolute menace. Please, someone do something about the Zamboni door.
It's definitely a quirky feature of this rink that even after playing here, still hard to read.
Yeah. It's a fifth Admiral player out there holding Polozov's stick.
Now here's Houlihan. He puts one in a blocker, saved by Chaba. Great reflexes there. Now McDonald backdoor towards Polozov. Polozov trying to find Dalmatau. He does, and it's a goal. Ivan Dalmatau gets another one for the Swarm.
Dalmatau, he's not a big guy, somehow still manages to find space in the slot. So as we see here, Chuba's trying to look around the screen, tons of traffic. McDonald switches the side to Polzov. Polzov, he's always a passer, looking for that pass, finds it right on Domitow's stick, who touches in. Chabo is down in the RVH, I think a little bit early. You want to go into that RVH position when the puck is roughly 1 to 2 stick lengths away from you. Polzov was not close enough for him to use the RVH position, and that made it a little bit more difficult for him to get across there. And now it's 5-1.
So the Swarm doing some good work with those deflections right in the box there in front of the goal, and they finally got one to pay off. So some problems here for the Admirals, and if you have IT problems, contact Nice IT, the nice guys in IT.
Oh, that was great. Great transition there.
So under a minute remaining here in the second, and the Swarm have put 2 goals on the board, and they really have looked like the better side so far.
Yeah, we're seeing the shots are 20-14. I think whoever's doing the counting is being rather generous at this point. Connor Parr's really only faced 2 difficult chances this period, and maybe a few minor stops, shots from outside the blue and so on. The Admirals will definitely need to pick it up in the third if they want any chance of getting back into this one.
So as we mentioned earlier in the year, the Admirals actually swept the Botany out in Botany and the Swarm's home rink. And you got to think the Swarm did not forget about that.
They are out for blood. They want some revenge this weekend. They just fire it wide of the net as this period comes to a close. So if you had enjoyed this action so far, so Game 2 will be on tomorrow. You can pick up your tickets on the NZIHL website or the AIHA website and come join us tomorrow for some more exciting NZIHL action, or tune in online to watch us on YouTube on the NZIHL YouTube channel. Thank you for everyone who's joined us so far. And I think we'll pass to the intermission. Go grab yourself a beer, buy some tickets, join us tomorrow. And the third period.
Yeah.
Kirakoto, welcome back to this third period NZIHL action between the Botany Swarm and the West Auckland Admirals. I'm Bartek Vertovsky here with Joel Rindelob. So the score is 5-1 for the Swarm. Do you think that the Admirals can do anything to get back into this game? What do they need to change?
Absolutely. The game of ice hockey is quick and things can change on a dime. So the Admirals have 20 minutes to play and they are far from out of this. But they're going to have to get it in gear and they're going to have to start putting some more shots towards the net, crashing the net, because there have been some rebounds out there tonight. But so far, they only have one goal to show for it.
Yeah, they've not had many quality shots. Connor Parr's not being very busy in his net. Bit of cold feet. So Connor will need to try and get his head into this game early because the Admirals, as you said, will be coming out with fire. They don't want to give up here at home.
Still plenty to play for here in the third. And remember, these games are massive for final position on the table. Could all be decided this weekend. Third period underway here at the Brig. So it'll be Houlihan, hot shots, Houlihan for the Swarm. And here's going to be an icing as that errant pass caroms all the way down. And a face-off back in the Swarm zone.
Yeah, luckily no tired legs for the Swarm out there with just 14 seconds into this one. They ice it. We have Regan lining up against Atwell. Regan back at center. Pim Vandermeulen started this game at center on that line. Interesting to see them rotating. Who's taking the slot or the face-offs.
That's actually wild to see a defenseman not only go up and play forward, but be the centerman.
Yeah, he's such a versatile player. Really enjoy playing with him on the Mooseheads in the BHL, where he's actually been playing as a defenseman.
Not an easy thing to do to switch back and forth.
Oh, and a high stick here on Regan. Luckily, Regan's got the bubble there protecting him from that stick. We definitely won't get a 4-minute call there for blood with the big bubble on his head.
So that is Hoofnagel, who's actually going to go to the box for a high stick, and that was actually a pretty silly play.
Yeah.
Whenever the puck is laying on the back of the net there, you just leave it. You leave it and you wait for a whistle, especially if you're defending that goal, because crazy things can happen, as you just saw there.
Yeah, a little bit reckless, especially early in this period, giving the Admirals a chance to get back into it.
So that'll be Regan now for the Admirals. Backdoor to Kuntz. He shoots it, did not get through.
Big save by Connor Parr.
And this is the life the Admirals are looking for. Golden opportunity there as the puck was on the goal line. Now here's Dag with a one-timer right on, but Parr with the glove saw it all the way.
Silky smooth catch by Parr. He's looking dialed in, and he'll need to be to maintain this scoring gap of 5-1.
Bit of a tough read as a goaltender there as Dag just kind of clapped a rolling puck, so didn't really get a good trajectory on it, but was able to muffle it out anyway.
Yeah, rolling puck's very tricky to read when someone shoots them. They're standing on edge.
So the Admirals again, here's Dag. Over to Vandermeulen. Now one time, no, instead of pass. Over to Kunst. Now Dag puts one through, blocked, still loose, and now finally hold on by Parr as the puck hit the traffic in front of him.
Yeah, Parr luckily managed to find that one and cover it up. We had an interesting discussion during the intermission, actually. The advantages and disadvantages of having black pads. Black pads are rather uncommon for goaltenders since white pads apparently make you look bigger, but the black pads give a slight advantage in that sometimes the referee blows the whistle early because they can't see the puck.
A lot of the white pads, or at least in the early days, was that it would look like there is no pad there. And so they would shoot it into you as the Swarm are able to clear here.
Speaking of weird pads, have you seen the pads that have a net pattern on the front of them?
Oh, is that a thing? Finally. Finally.
It's so outrageous. It looks terrible, but I'm very curious if it works. I think I care more about my style than about being effective, though. I don't know if I'd do it.
Exactly. It's not the wand, it's the magician.
That's right.
But yeah, black pads, I actually do see an advantage there because it can be harder to maybe even pick up some rebounds if the puck is just sitting right there as a forward.
That's right. Big block by Kyle March. Has played a really solid game on the power play, on the penalty kill. Makes that block, gets it all the way down the ice.
This has been a pretty complete game as Hufnagel exits the box. We're back to 5-on-5 action. But the Swarm, this is the type of hockey that we saw early in the year from them. And now it looks like we're getting it once again, an injection of this high-paced, physical Swarm attack. And especially, as you can see there in the defensive zone, collapsing in the slot there, something that they've had issues with towards the middle of the season, leaving people wide open in dangerous areas. So maybe the Swarm are putting it back together at the right time.
Yeah, they've really tightened up this game. They've been excellent defensively and offensively.
So Wimmer for the Swarm will play it to the nearest side. And there's Chamberlain, Sebastian Chamberlain, with the long flowing locks.
Yeah, I used to struggle to tell the two Chamberlains apart, both the long hair, but now that Caleb's given his head a shave, now I can tell who's who.
I mean, that's some pretty long hair. Like when you sit down, that is like, you got some issues there.
It looks great when you're flying out there on the ice, though.
I will agree with that, yes.
Definitely makes you look like you're going faster. It's like painting your car red.
So that's Rooney. He's hit by McDonald, one of the goal scorers tonight for the Swarm. Big collision there at center ice as Rooney gets amended by Hufnagel. And now Fontaine all alone, he shoots, he scores! Fontaine with the second effort, and that's a 6-1 lead for the Swarm.
Action Jackson, again on the board. He's been so good for the Swarm, young player. So we're seeing on the replay now, attempted clearance, gets blocked by Marcus McDonald. Jackson Fontaine, a little bit of a garbage goal from him. He doesn't usually score those dirty ones. He's usually flying in, sniping at top shelf, but he's happy to get in the slot.
But once again, difficulty breaking out for the Admirals, and a turnover led directly to that goal.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of an issue there.
Fontaine with another shot right on that's steered aside by Chaba.
So with the score 6-1, I'm curious to see if maybe the Admirals might put in Auckland for a bit. She's had a few minutes against Dunedin when Chaba was injured. Might be good to give her some game time, get her some experience in the NZIHL. Be really good for her development, since I think this game might be out of reach for the Admirals at this point.
Well, the Admirals are going to need to get something going in the offensive zone, getting outshot so far by the Swarm.
Yeah, they're going to need 3 goals, or a goal every 3 minutes rather, to tie this one up.
And Vortonov is looking for Janssen, but that's broken up by Taylor Kennedy. And we have some Swarm chants starting to arise here in the Brig. Not something any West Auckland Admiral fan would appreciate at this juncture in the game.
Yeah, since we're in Auckland, both teams have brought their fans to this game. Even though this is an away game for the Swarm, there's a ton of Swarm fans here, seeing the jerseys and the sweaters out there.
In fact, I don't see an open seat in the house. This is jam-packed, and there has been a show for those Swarm fans so far.
Yeah, what a show they've put on today. Some heart-stopping action. On that note, a big thank you to AED New Zealand cardiac equipment specialists. Get in touch with them if you need defibrillators and that sort of cardiac equipment.
And there's Tag who puts one right on.
Ooh, Connor didn't see that at all. Was trying to look around the screen. Surprised as it hit the boards behind him.
Now chipped up to Janssen. He's going one-on-one with Dag, but he's able to sweep that away. Now Dag and Janssen getting close behind the net. And March and Hayward Smith doing battle. And it's McDonald. from the near wall. Puts one through, hits the pad of Chaba.
Oh, very sneaky. He made it look like he was going to pass and just fired a quick one on net.
There's another opportunity and a stick save by Chaba that actually took it right out of his hands.
Yeah, almost off the knob there. It's always nice when that happens. You think it's going to go past you and it hits your stick. Give your stick a kiss.
Well, I always say if it hits the knob of the stick, I mean, you put it there for a reason.
That's right. It's always completely intentional when you do it. That's what you tell your team.
And Wimmer getting chased down by Henry. Unable to keep it in the zone, though, and so that will be an offsides on the Admirals.
Seeing Ben Perkins in the chat saying, I'm watching from home, sadly, because I was involved in a car accident. I hope you're okay, Ben. Hopefully it's only the car that's messed up. Hope you're doing well, and hope you're enjoying the hockey tonight. Hope it cheers you up. Drawn out just outside the swarm zone.
And of course, we do have the Red Devils and Thunder also on tonight, so make sure you check that action out as well if you're in need for some more ice hockey after this one. So out of the far side, that's Andy Hay, the longtime captain of the Swarm. Will play it down low towards Houlihan. Houlihan and Regan doing some work. Centering attempt here. Broken up by Regan. Now he's got speed the other way. Leaves it for Sistroni. Puts one through, but a blocker save made by Parn. He had to be quick with that one.
Sistroni has an absolutely lethal shot. Spencer Robertson, one of the goalies last year with the Admirals, described Vinny's shot as being NHL level, at least in terms of his power. His release isn't quite as fast as an NHL player, but man, he gets so much gas on that shot. Absolutely flying there.
And that one was going top cheddar on goal, but a nice blocker save.
Yeah, for sure.
Now here's Luke Simon going coast to coast. We've seen him do that a few times tonight. A fearless defenseman. Now Whiston Lee gets a stick on it, but this should be an icing. Instead, it is waved off as Whiston Lee made contact with that before the red. But instead regains control, throws one towards the net. Unable to connect. And it's March who has to play it down low towards Hufnagel. His bouncing pass gets through everyone, and it's Dag to retreat. He'll leave it for Josh Whiston Lee. Able to get around McDonald. Now looking center ice back to Dag. Now Dag gets in the zone, puts one through, missed the net. And that's the kind of thing the Admirals are going to have to do, is keep funneling those shots towards the twine.
Yeah, Daigle has a lethal shot. He's going to go for it whenever he gets the chance.
So Chamberlain and Hopkinson doing battle towards our Corky Zamboni door corner. Able to squirt free. Taken down by Wimmer, and we're going to get a penalty here on the Swarm as Wimmer was maybe a bit too aggressive with that stick, and he'll get 2 minutes for a cross check.
Yep, 2 minutes in the box for the young player. He's stepped in admirably today as Ruzicka and Niue and Gretzky Sandoy are suspended. But now he'll get 2 minutes in the box to think about what he's done.
Did you say New Wayne Gretzky?
Niue and Gretzky. He's from the island of Niue, the greatest player of all time from Niue. I haven't checked personally, but I'm willing to bet he is the greatest ice hockey player from that little island nation.
Wow.
Hope you're enjoying this game, Remy, if you're watching from home or in the stands, watching your team 6-1 up against the Admirals.
New Wayne Gretzky.
He could be the new Wayne Gretzky. He's still got a few more years to develop. You never know. Never say never.
Well, the Swarm are going to have to start here by trying to kill off this penalty. And the Admirals would really love to get anything going to get back into this game.
Yeah, they need a couple goals quick so that they have a chance with the extra attacker late in the game to get back into it.
That was Vandermeuen that missed everything, and the puck comes out of the zone. But you can still see some very, very aggressive penalty killing by the Swarm. There were bodies flying all over the place, willing to put it all on the line to block a shot, even with a 5-goal lead.
Yeah, they're doing really well in the penalty kill, not giving the Admirals much to work with.
So here's Dag running the umbrella power play. Gets it to Hayward Jones. But instead, Simon intercepts and clears.
Luke Simon, reliable as always.
And looking for Regan. No icing here as he was the first one to cross the dots. So the Admirals will once again try to set up with 40 seconds remaining. But a nice play there by Tuller to intercept, and he is able to clear.
Only 30 seconds left on this power play for the Admirals to get something going. I think they really need a goal at this point to give themselves any chance of tying this one up.
So here comes Chamberlain, leaving it for Vesper. Centering feed to no one in particular, so Damatel gets it.
Chasing that one down. Might go one-on-one with Chuba.
So
Puck doesn't just land for him in the right spot. Sorry.
Jackson and Wimmers out of the box, so we are back to 5-on-5. Puck left for Dalmatow. Centering feed was looking for Paulzot, but that's broken up by Chamberlain.
I think Chuba got a stick on that one, but yeah, he was aware there was someone lurking at the back post. Well done by Chuba to get a stick on that pass.
So that's Hufnagel in his first official NZIHL action here for the Swarm. And he has filled in nicely at that back line where they are down some players. Puck cleared out to center ice. It'll be Hufnagel with Henry on his back. Able to find Houlihan in center ice. And Hot Shots brings it in. Gets it towards Atwell, who's able to corral it from his feet. Little stop and stutter there. Able to get it to the point. Wimmer unable to connect, and now he's got trouble as Henry's on him. Henry steals it towards the net, and a save made by Parr.
Big save by Parr. His defenseman helped him out really well by making sure to tie up Henry's stick a bit so he didn't get the cleanest shot off.
Now into the zone, here's Atwell. Centering feed forwards, Hot Shots, but his shot's blocked by Kennedy.
Swarm still looking for more goals. They're not letting up.
Now Houlihan with a nice move to get around Henry. Centering feed was looking towards Vortanoff, but he was tied up. And now Houlihan again throws it towards the net. And the defenseman McDonald in the far corner. And unable to keep it in the line was Wimmer, so we will get a face-off just outside the blue.
Yeah, I noticed that one was offside. Was curious if the referee would call it. Luckily, the referee was sharp there. And now we're seeing the opportunity from Scott Henry. Create some separation. And we just see, I think that was number 23, got a touch on Scott Henry's stick. I think Scott was probably looking short side top shelf, but was slightly thrown off by that stick check. Really good defensive play and a good save by Connor Parr.
So the Admirals down 5, need to get something going here with just 6.5 to play in this contest.
Yeah, they almost need a goal a minute at this point, but I'm sure they'll settle for a few goals to at least give themselves some momentum going into tomorrow. They don't want to go into tomorrow with a 5-goal deficit loss.
So here's Janssen trying to find Vortanoff, but that's behind him. And now Janssen trying to get it to Hopkinson. Now in the far wall, that's Taylor Kennedy. Throws it up the wall, but kept in by Tuller, who took a big hit there from Allen. Now Admirals, Whiston Lee trying to find a streaking Quigley, but a little sloppy work with the puck, and it's back in the Swarm zone. Now Taylor Kennedy, the defenseman, trying to make something happen. Now Dag bounces off Hay. And Simon recovers. Simon tries to get it up the wall. Absorbs a hit from Dag. Now played around towards Koptev. Hayward Jones is there to keep it in at the blue. And now Vesper and Simon do battle. Hayward Jones trying to play it down low, but that's broken up, and Koptev unable to clear. And now Hoofnagel on the near wall. He'll just throw it up the glass, but it's kept in by Dag. Hoofnagel again. As the Swarm having trouble completing passes or even getting it out. But yet Admirals not able to do much with it.
Yeah, Swarm have slightly sat back the last few minutes here and let the Admirals dictate the play, but the Admirals still not able to get many chances through.
One's played all the way down, and this will be an ice with tired legs out there for the Swarm.
Yeah, an opportunity for the Admirals to get something going. They can load up their top line here. We see Regan and the Dutchman going out there. I'd like to remind you once again, a massive thank you to the Admirals jersey sponsor, Pure New Zealand, for their support this season. Love to see them on the jerseys. Best looking jerseys in the NZIHL, in my opinion, with that gold and blue.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Swarm out there could really use some pure NZ spring water right now because they look a bit thirsty.
Maybe not as thirsty for goals as they were earlier in this game. They've let up slightly, but they've worked hard. Definitely need some good hydration after this game.
So Swarm still have that 5-goal lead. Really look happy to keep the foot on the pedal here and keep trying to put pucks towards the net. They are not trying to let up at all against the Admirals. And there's a shot by Hooligan right on, forcing Shaba to make a stick save. And once again, a turnover before the blue from the Admirals. It has been the theme all night.
Yeah, and a turnover, really struggling with those zone exits, as you said, just throwing the puck away.
And now here's Witston Lee. He's got some speed going the other way, trying to get around Wimmer. And then Wimmer able to time that nicely to get his body in front.
And he throws some heavy hits. He's a young guy, not that big, but he really throws his body around.
So now Fontaine doing some business. 3 Admirals around him, but still able to get it up to Tueller.
Ooh, nice between the legs pass by Fontaine there.
Now Dalmatal with a little space, but that hits the shin pad of Steven into the netting and will get a whistle.
Yeah, and the faceoff will be in the Admiral zone. Chance for the Swarm to apply a bit more pressure and push this game even further out of reach for the Admirals with 2 minutes and 29 seconds left.
So Dalmatau forced to retreat here for the Swarm. Up the wall. Looking for Fontaine. Now played towards the goal, but that misses everything. And it's McDonald that tries to chip it out. Instead it gets to Tueller. Long pass here towards Fontaine. He gets a stick on it. But instead it's played by Dag. Now Dag able to find Hayward Jones into the zone. He puts one through and he scores! Flynn Hayward Jones puts the Admirals back on the board.
Absolute top shelf snipe by Flynn Hayward Jones. Really good defenseman. Has a really good shot. We haven't seen him use it yet today, but he showed that he can shoot. As he skates into the zone, rips it past Connor Parr, blocker side, top corner, and we're at 6-2.
And that was a pure NZ release, if I've ever seen one.
Excellent.
So a much needed goal for the Admirals. They're still down a quadruple though.
Yeah, they'll be happy to at least get one back late in this game to build a little bit of confidence going into tomorrow.
But on that last goal, a nice feed from Dag right to Flynn Hayward-Jones. Some D-to-D action, and that's what happens when you complete passes in the neutral zone.
They're a really good D pairing, work very well together.
And don't forget, for any fans in the Auckland area, we do have a Whataburger after party with...
Oh, What a Barbecue. I think Whataburgers are different. You can sponsor it.
Well, you can get a burger there, I'm sure, right?
Maybe, I don't know. It's like American barbecue. I assume so. You're American. You probably know better than I do.
There's a shot towards the net, deflected. Connor Parr able to reach out and make the save. What a barbecue. I haven't been there, but if I were going to go, it would be today, as Admirals players will be live in person.
That's right. You can buy them a brisket to cheer them up after this one. Brisket, very good. Would recommend.
So here are the Swarm trying to get cleared out of the zone. Finally do. As Dag still on the hunt for the Admirals. Gets it back from Vandermeuwen. Now he's got speed into the zone. Throws one through, deflected. But Parr makes the save with the glove.
Yeah, good to see there. Connor Parr had to be sharp on that one, as it looked like it took a deflection on the way to him. So good to see from Connor, recovering well after that last goal by Flynn Hayward-Jones, making a couple key saves here late in the game. 58.1 seconds left in this one.
So again, the cheeky Zamboni door eating up the puck right now before Atwell's able to poke it away. And then a long pass here. Kicked out by McLeish, but Polzov puts a shoulder into his chest.
McLeish showing off his soccer skills.
And then Houlihan gets hit as Mason Kennedy gets into him. So trading a few blows here. With just 20 seconds remaining. Now Polzov throws one, deflects off Regan and into the Admirals bench, so we will get a whistle here with just 15 seconds remaining in this contest.
Seeing that replay there, Gary McLeish going for the soccer pass and then gets knocked over. The soccer warm-ups pre-game must have helped with that one.
Well, he should have been maybe doing some rugby warm-ups.
They'll have to adjust for tomorrow.
So here's Fontaine. Brings it into the zone. Avoids a check from Steven. And then the horn sounds, and that will do it. A 6-2 victory for the Botany Swarm and a much-needed 3 points.
Yeah, the Swarm played excellent today. This is a perfect away game. Came here to Avondale. Were not intimidated at all. Brought the energy, brought the fire, brought the goals, and they've come away with a 6-2 win here tonight.
And importantly, if the Swarm win tomorrow, they can clinch that number 2 spot in the table, which would secure them a home semifinal.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. I believe we discussed this pregame. I think if the Stampede pick up 2 points against the Thunder, which they're likely to, they're a very strong team, then they will secure home ice advantage for the finals. And in that case, the Swarm will get home ice advantage for the semis. But I think there's still a small chance the Swarm could end up top of the table if the Stampede lose those games against the Thunder.
The Stampede would have to drop 2 games against
Yes,
a team that has only won 1 all year.
That is a long shot, but there's still a chance.
But nonetheless, the Swarm have put themselves in fantastic position and seem to be playing well at the right time.
Yeah, they were solid. I thought that maybe the loss of Ruzicka and Sandoy would affect them on the back line, but they were absolutely solid there on the blue line. Leonard Wimmer stepped in, played really well. Hoofnagel, I don't remember if he was playing defense today as well, stepping in, but he was excellent as well. And the young guys, Luke Simon, also putting in a solid shift on defense. Really good to see for the Swarm.
Yeah, the depth showed up, and the young guys stepped up quite nicely, which you would love to see as a Swarm fan. But we still have another game to play tomorrow night. Back here in the Brig in Avondale with still so much to play for because that 2 and 3 seed still up in the air.
Yeah, get your tickets. Join us here tomorrow night for some more NZIHL action.
And until then,